Oh, that's what. What you talking about? Oh. I want to wake up. Yo. Where's yo?
Peace, y'all.
Salute. Y'all, let's talk about it. Let's talk about something we don't talk about when we pick up the Bible. You know, we talk about this, we talk about that, we talk about history. Let's talk about what we don't talk about when we pick up the Bible. Let's talk about it. You know, people like I say, y'all, man, there's no better way to put it as the devil deceived the whole world. Like, once you take a step back, humble yourself, and understand that the whole world has been deceived by the devil, then, you know, man, it's not really too much to hear and understand. Because there's certain standpoints, if you look into people's speech, you look into their purpose, you look into why they doing it, there's no life in it. You know, and that's why I always say, you know, that the devil is in disguise. The devil is acting. You know, that's why I say if you're not speaking according to this word, there's no life in you. So the devil comes acting like they got life in them, but what they doing? They leading us to the slaughterhouse. All their information is leading us to the slaughterhouse. What did the devil come to do? Kill, steal, and destroy. So it's a lot of people have showed up with the Bible. You know, they have what? Killed our thoughts, to destroy our mind by stealing God's word. That's the devil. It say the shepherd lead the sheep to the slaughterhouse. So where are we being led when it comes to someone teaching us scriptures? Where are they leading us? To a slaughterhouse. So we done missed the whole point of Christ even come back. Christ come back to defeat the devil. Christ don't come back to teach the people. So when a lot of people come to Christ and they want to receive teachings, which is really the truth, and it's a revealment. Christ reveals the truth. But some people want Christ to come like the devil and sit down and teach them and smile. No, Christ come to fight the devil. Christ said, if you don't get rid of your false teachings, I'm going to come fight with the sword that's in my mouth. But a lot of people want Christ to have smooth teachings, smooth sayings. That's not how you fight the devil. And that's where a lot of people have really went left. By what? Your vain imaginations. So you don't even know what Christ has even come back to do. Because you want Christ to do what you imagine. So now you have imaginations about what you think Christ's going to do. So when Christ come back, Christ better be according to what you think. Man, that's some bold thoughts. That's some, when they say wicked, that's wicked. For you to believe in a higher power, but then imagine how the higher power gonna do it. And then you can have your imagination. I'm not gonna push them on nobody else. I'm not gonna tell the world my imaginations is true. See, everybody gonna imagine. But to go around and tell the world your imaginations is true, see, that's when it get wicked. And see, a lot of people can't see that. Because nobody is speaking of what they have seen. Nobody is speaking of what they have heard. So what they speaking off of? Imagination. Like, that's wicked. But see, most people can't look that deep into someone that got the microphone and he got a suit on and he got the Bible in his hand. See, that's called being in this. Most people can't see that wickedness, man. That's wicked. And then they have taught other people to walk down that same path. Shit, I'm speaking my imagination too. Pastor did I've been going to church for 20 years. All pastor been doing is speaking to me his main imagination. So what I'm going to start doing? Shit, I'm going to start telling my imagination. That's what pastor did. That's what I seen. Pastor ain't see Christ. So why I got to see Christ to read the Bible? Why I got to see Christ to understand the Bible? This is why people fighting the truth right now. But the Bible tell you got to have these things. But the people that first read you the Bible, they didn't tell you this. They just told you to read it. And now they read it, so I'm going to read it. That's a part of an image. And that's why I say the devil deceived the whole world, because everybody's seen that image. And we follow. So I want all my melanated people who say they don't believe in Christ, let's talk about what Christ is here to do, because I don't see nobody trying to establish a government. I see they do have a brother that's running for president, which is great, you know. Hopefully one day we'll get the link up. But other than that, I don't see no other melanated party. Now, not to knock nobody, because everybody got their positions in what God is doing, whether you on the left side, whether you on the right side. So I'm not shining nobody, but understand the prophecy of God is bigger than America. See what I'm saying? See, we got to understand that the prophecy of God is bigger than America. So when I say political party, I'm not speaking of an American political party. I'm speaking of a world, because what we scattered to, and we all over the world. God said he scattered us everywhere. So this political party is worldwide. This is not just in a small section. But Ethiopia is just what? You want to call it the White House, the ruler stick, the measurement, whatever you want to call it. You know, the holy image, the holy seat, all this is where, that's in Ethiopia. You know, but I don't see nobody trying to create a government. We're trying to get money that they print. This thing about it, y'all, we are literally waking up and revolving our whole life around money that they print and saying we woke. We're not coming together. We're not downsizing. This is what, see, people talking about change. First thing you got to do is come out of what you in. So if you're not downsizing, how many people downsizing? Hell no, man, more people ain't downsizing. This is one of the first things that pop in your mind when you really woke. And understand what system you got to what? Come out of. But we're not down. We're trying to get bigger. We're trying to get more cars. We're trying to get more property. Y'all, they give property away, y'all. They give property away all the time. Now, I'm not saying if you're able to buy property, yeah, property is good to have. I'm not saying don't, but I'm just saying, where's your mind at if you're really a part of the revolution? See, that's what I be wanting to know. Where the mind at? Because this title right here, I just want to see somebody come up and talk about it. I just want to see, can somebody, most people can't come up here and talk about it. Because really, when it comes to setting up a government, you can't really talk scriptures. You can use them, but you can't talk them. See, the talking of scripture days is getting to be over with, and that disguise. See, people have disguise using God's scriptures. But see, that way finna be over with, because why? If you're not doing the scriptures, you being exposed, because the truth is out. The truth is out. So a lot of people are being exposed. That's what Christ is here for. So, like I say, y'all, man.
If y'all have any questions, feel free to come up. What happened? Yeah, no, something bad.
Yeah, I want to see somebody talk about it. And that's crazy. That's crazy how we don't even understand that's what the Bible about. That's literally what the Bible is about. This God judgment and the kingdom being given over to the right people. And we missed the whole ship. Why? We drowned in information. So what's the back? The Ark of the Covenant. To put the people on the ship from the information, maritime law of the sea that you are drowning in, so you can what? Follow God's laws. And y'all, we all know God's law leads to righteousness. We all know this. Like, you must understand God's law leads to righteousness. We must understand these things. So like I say, y'all, when we talk this talk, man, this is Bible prophecy. Now, a lot of people might have a question of what? Well, we might have this question of why Christ got a melanated government. See, because people love to turn the truth into hate speech. People love to turn the truth into hate speech. But the lie is what? It feels good to my soul. Yeah. It feels good to your purpose and the way you walking right now. But remember, God gonna put us on a new path. God gonna put us on a narrow path. So let's read Isaiah 42 and 22, y'all. I want to read you something. People always say, why Christ coming back with a melanated government? Now, everybody deep down, they know this. Deep down, we know this, y'all. But like I say, we don't want to walk that narrow path. So I'm going to start at verse 20. Isaiah 42, I'm going to start at verse 20. So it says, seeing many things, but thou observest not. Open in the ears, but he heareth not. The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. So what he gonna do? Magnify the law and make it honorable. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. What kind of people is this? Robbed and spoiled. So I want to ask y'all this. What people was robbed? It says, but this people is robbed and spoiled. They are, all of them, snared in holes. Wasn't Joseph put in the hole? And they are hid in prison houses. Now, who are these people, y'all? What people are robbed? What people are spoiled? What people are put in holes? And what people are hidden in prison houses? What people? Didn't they lock up people who was fighting for the revolution? Was not Malcolm X assassinated for trying to go to the UN on behalf of who? Was not Martin Luther King assassinated for who? We can go on and on. That's just the ones y'all know. So what kind of people is the book talking about if they are robbed in prison houses, in holes? And then check this out. It say they are for prey. Oh, what? Who for prey? Who is for prey? And none delivered. When something happened to us, who delivered us? Who delivered us from the oppression over here when they was doing all? Who delivered us now? None delivered. It says for a spoil, and none said restore. Now why? Now who have to restore something? Who is the nation that have to restore something and was robbed and never restored or never gotten back the things that was taken from them? We can stick with this one verse and prove to the world who this book talking about. Israel's an end time prophecy. Don't get caught up with that word Israel and how they did that. Israel's an end time prophecy. So I'm gonna read that verse again. Y'all, that's one verse. It says, but this people, I'm in Isaiah 42 and 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. They are hid in prison houses. They are for prey, and none delivered. For a spoil, and none said restore. Verse 23. Who among you will give an ear? Not an imagination, because why? The truth gonna be told to you. The truth is gonna be spoken to you. So who among us right now that's giving ear to this? Restoring the melanated government. Who will give ear among the people to this? So then it says, who will hearken and hear for the time to come? So why would Christ be coming back to restore a melanated government? But we say Christ is a consciousness. Christ is a spirit within us. Christ came 2,000 years ago and did all that, and the book fulfilled, and he cracking the sky. And what the CIA told us, y'all, we gonna stop the rise of a Messiah. Because who is the CIA working for? Let's just be honest, y'all. Is not the CIA working for the British? Oh, we don't know this? So we don't know the CIA is working for the British. So if the book is telling you Christ was going to be under Roman what? Captivity. Where's the melanated people right now? Under what? Roman captivity. But they shot them dates at us, boy. Like an AK-47. They went, I think it's AK bullets, they go through walls. I don't think too much can stop an AK now. Yeah, they bullets pretty big, so that them dates, they're like AK bullets. They penetrated our mind very, very well. And we can't seem to get them out. We can't even see the reality we living in. So I just proved why Christ will be coming back for melanated people and restoring them. Now, again, this don't make, just because a melanated government is restored, that don't make black people hate white people. That's not what that means. That don't. So if anybody is taking the truth and like I say, turn into hate speech, you're gonna be accountable for that. But at the same time, y'all, this is why. You know, now everybody is losing and everybody is being affected by the lie, but who was robbed? They didn't steal strolls from everybody. They didn't take over and infiltrate everybody's land. Now they took control of everybody's land, but they just took Africa. You know, people, they took Africa and Africans. So when it really comes to what's truly being said and why these things are happening, this is why the truth hurts. How many religious people is ready to see Christ here for a melanated government? Just think about it. See, I always say, put yourself in people's shoes. Put yourself in people's thoughts. Put yourself on people's standpoints. Because everybody's standpoint ain't the same. That's why you got Mount Zion. That's why you got Earth. You know, that's why you have all these are different standpoints that someone will be standing on when they saying what they saying. And if you ain't on Mount Zion, your perception is low. You know. So, understand, when people truly find out Christ is here for a melanated government, that's blowing a lot of people's mind. Now, people who have really read the book, pastors, they know this, but some of them just wasn't bold enough to say it. And some people are bold enough to say it. Some pastors have said it already. White pastors have said these things. You know, see, white pastors have said these things that I said up here. So why we don't know simple things like this? You know, what's so hard about understanding this? Because we live in a world that's oppressing the truth and lifting up the lie. The truth is oppressed and the lie is lifted up. It's simple as that. From every church house to every government worker to every school to every religion to every organization, the truth is oppressed and the lie is lifted up. It's just that simple, y'all. So we got proof. You know, we got proof of what we talking about, y'all. So a lot of people try to say, man, you know. So I'm gonna read. I gotta read that verse one more time, y'all. Isaiah 42:22, to show you why Christ will be back for melanated people. It says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. But this is a people what? Robbed and spoiled. They are, all of them, snared in holes, and they are hid in prisons, houses. They are for prey. They for prey, y'all. They for experiment. They for to get shot down in the middle of the street. They for to show other nations how to put other people in slavery. They for to be used to work your fields to make you rich. That's prey. They preying on us. All nations come in all neighborhoods and get rich and we poor. Because why? We for prey. It says, and none delivered. They could shoot. It was one year they shot over 1,000 black people in the streets. Nobody delivered us. Now, we ain't going to talk about the 60s, the 50s, and the 70s. We know we ain't got to talk about that. We you know. But nobody delivered us. They delivered the white Jews. They just pay what's their president? Didn't they just deliver didn't she give up people some money? The vice president, what's her name? What she is? Kamala Harris? Did she give up people some money?
I don't know.
I think somebody got some money not too long ago. But none delivered. For a spoil and none restored. Now, again, we know this Bible is connected to the Solomonic dynasty. And if you know anything about the Solomonic dynasty, the fall of the Melanated government, then you understand why this government must be restored. But what? In the righteous order of God. Because let's not forget, verse 24. It say, who gave Jacob for spoil? That's why it's not about pointing the finger. See, after all this is done to us, and I guess that's why black people not really mad. I guess, we still accept all nations. We're not really mad at nations. We mad at we mad at the actions that's being done on behalf of us. And it just so happened to be what? The people who doing it. And we know who that is, the Caucasians. And now a lot of people are siding with the Caucasians. So, but we still don't hate. You don't see black people just going around just like with KKK flags. No, we fighting what the actions that's being done to us. We're not coming with hate. It's the actions that we fight. And whoever doing it, that's who we gonna fight. But everybody else, they just hate us. But remember, we're not pointing the finger, and this is why. Because who have done these things to us? So I say, who gave Jacob for spoil, and Israel to the robbers? Did not the Lord, he against whom we have sinned? For they would not walk in my ways, neither were they obedient unto his laws. Therefore had he poured upon him the fury of his anger and the strength of battle, and it has set him on fire round about. Yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart. So how many black people have really understood, man, God put me here? That's why I say, we burning it inside. We on fire. We angry. We mad as hell. But what we haven't considered and what we haven't really put in our hearts, all this because of what we not doing. See, when Kanye say came up, it's black people's fault. Black people, you got to blame black people for slavery because we've been blaming the white man for slavery for a long time. So we can't fix the problem because all we doing is pointing the finger. And there's no accountability. And see what we doing, we just point the finger. And there's no accountability. But once you take accountability, what you can focus on? Fixing the problem. So it says, it burned him. Don't it, man, some men, I know y'all, like, I never respected what happened, because I didn't live in the 60s and 70s, Matter of fact, my stepdad, he was telling me about something that happened in Baton Rouge in the early 70s. I wasn't born then. But they had this big riot down here. I wasn't born. Even that stuff that was going on in the 80s, I was a baby, so it didn't really, because you don't look at the world. I was a child then. All I cared was about dribbling the basketball and then going in the hoop and throwing the football. That's what I went to bed, and that's what I woke up to. So the world, but at my awakening, I was seeing cops shooting brothers down and beating up women. I'm like, man, that set me on that put so much fire in me. And at that time, I didn't understand God had put me here and all this was happening because God? No, who I thought it was happening for? The white man. But hate wasn't in my heart. See, a lot of people and that's why I say that come from, because I do come from love. I come from a family that we country love. Maybe not the biblical love or the correction love, but yeah, I come from country love. So I don't come from this hate. You see what I'm saying? So, but when I woke up, that set me on fire. Because I'm seeing right now, I have a daughter, I got nephews, and if I'm seeing my people that look like me get shot down in the street, then that might be what? One of my people. And a lot of people don't get set on fire until it happened to one of your people. But I guess I'm a visionary, so I'm able to look a little further. I could look further, so before it happened to my people, it gonna set me on fire because I don't want it to happen to my people. So I'm set on fire because even when I see a brother I don't know get shot down in the streets, I feel that's a part of me. That's like, see, when you think about animals, for instance, when a zebra get attacked, the first thing the zebra think about what? Is what if it happened to me? You see what I'm saying? That's a zebra being attacked. So a lot of people don't understand when something happened to people that look like you, it's happening to you psychological. It might not be happening to you physical. That's why they used to get the biggest slave, beat them to death, and make everybody look at it. Because why? That shit happening to what? Psychologically, it's happening to you. Physically, you not getting beat. Psychological, you is. So, like I say, y'all, this is why this book is about us. And once we get put in our correct place, we heal the world. We the voice of freedom. We the voice of justice. We the voice of liberty. The lost sayings. We are the voice of all these things. And that's what Christ is here to give us. A voice to change the world. To create a government, because where does government start? With the mind. You know? Yeah, even
Hello.
Peace, peace.
Hello.
Are you able to cam up?
My camera.
Yeah,
Okay, let me try.
we see you.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, brother, man? Peace, peace.
How you doing?
Good, I'm good.
I'm good. I see your Christ is back to restore the melanated government.
Correct.
And when you say melanated, I'm guessing you mean like black people, or
Correct.
so, so that means Christ is for black people only.
No. Christ is
So
to
what?
restore black people because black people have to be restored. Like,
And
how many people get shot down in the streets around the world? How many nations?
oh, okay. When you say nation, you mean like countries, or
No,
you
like
mean
people, like
race?
what kind of people are being shot down and mistreated all over the world?
Okay, I think black people will be the dominant, but other people have their share of mistreatment, I'm guessing.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, but the black people is the people that correct all the wrong that's in the earth.
Okay.
You see what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
that
So
I,
I'm saying I'm
I-
not saying Christ is here for black people because Christ is
yeah,
against nations.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
God is a God of all nations.
yes,
God is not the God just of black people. Black people is just the chosen of God. But the the fix is for black people to fix.
yes.
You know,
Okay,
and once we able to set that standard under God righteousness, we bring
yeah,
healing to all nations.
okay. Yeah, you see, when Christ was on earth, like 2,000 years ago, the Jews made the same mistake, thinking the Messiah will be here on earth only for the Jews. When Christ was here, he preached like I'm not here just for the Jews, but for all mankind. But I think the melanated government is we will be making the same mistake as the ancient Jews did. You know, Christ was here for the entire human race, and he was preaching for everyone. And the Jews thought like the Messiah will be here only for them, to restore the Jewish government, to restore Israelites. But he was preaching like for every single human on earth.
Well,
I
brother
think,
man,
yeah,
so what do you have to say about the scripture where it says, I only come for the
yeah.
lost sheep of Israel?
For the lordship of Israel. Okay, when you say Israel, you mean the race of Israelites or the nation of Israel?
What do you
On
think the
that,
Bible is speaking of when it says the lost sheep of Israel? When the Bible says the
listen,
lost sheep of Israel, do you think it's talking about everybody, or do you think it's talking about a particular people?
when it says Israel, look, I can look at it at many perspectives. Like if you say that the nation, okay, the nation Israel. If you say the race, it can be the race. But I think, from my perspective, I think when you say Israel, I mean the entire chosen people on this earth, those who do good. I think not just the descendants of Abraham or Jacob, but the new Israelite, the new Israel that Christ will bring down to earth, as it's stated on the Revelation. That's what I think. That is me. Uh, do you understand? For the lost sheep of Israel, I think it means those who do good.
But that's what I'm saying, and I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
So when the scripture talk about you will be hated, you will become a byword for the nations. You are a people that's robbed. You are a
yeah,
people that's hidden in prison houses.
yeah.
Is that everybody, or is that a particular people that was robbed? It was everybody robbed, or was a particular people robbed?
Okay.
No, I'm
Uh,
saying like these are scriptures. These are not
yeah,
these are
I
not
understand.
something
I
that I'm
understand.
just see because a lot of people don't really haven't really did the research of the scriptures because the book was just handed to us. So I just want to know, have all people been robbed, or was it a particular people that have been robbed?
I mean, when it comes to mistreatment, I told you before, everybody has their share, but I think black people suffer the most.
Okay, and so if Christ was coming back, Christ will what? Go to the people first who suffer the most, and that's all I'm saying. And then once these people are healed, all the rest of the nations can get healed. But you can't go to people who haven't really suffered the most and bring God healing and not heal the people who the sickest.
Uh,
Because right now that's why in the hospital you got emergencies and then you got what care. When it's an
yeah,
emergency, you can't wait. It got to go straight to the emergency room. So when it comes to black
yeah,
people, it's an emergency.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So a lot of people want to turn the truth into hate
Okay,
speech. The truth not
so
hate. The truth is truth.
yeah,
So
so
so when Christ come back, it's God emergency.
okay,
Everybody else
so
gonna have to wait. They gotta wait in the waiting room. They gotta sign in. They gotta sit down. Now we're not gonna stop them from coming into the hospital to receive the healing of God. That's not what we're saying. God is not gonna heal everybody else, but they have to sit down and wait. Black people, they going straight to the room. They ain't gotta sign in.
okay, and I mean that's it. You see, how does that work? I mean, does it work like skin color? When you say melanated, melanated means the more melanin you have, the darker skin you are. So every melanated, or what is it? How does that work?
Well, no. The melanated government is showing you how it's gonna be a black government with no white control. All governments are being paid by Europeans to do
Yeah,
their dirty work. We know this. All Africans, all these people. So we don't have a government. We
yeah,
are being controlled by
mm,
Caucasians and other races.
yeah,
The Asians and all these people have their hand in Africa because what is Africa poor? So if I'm
Yeah.
giving you money, you're gonna do what I say.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So we don't have a melanated government. So this is a
Okay.
government that's gonna be ran by black people for black people with no outer interference. Africa gonna belong to us and only us, not to the
Yeah.
Asians, the British, and everybody else. No, we don't need that. We're gonna run our own country. They're gonna run their country. And we're gonna
Yeah.
live happily ever after. That's all this is. So every black person is not gonna be a part of the melanated government. But the
Yeah.
melanated government will be for all colored people to
Okay.
provide every need and every resource that they require. You
Mhm.
know, so that's really what the melanated government is about. It's not really about like I said, it's not about hate, man. A lot of people when they hear that, they want to turn it into hate, but it's not about hate at all. It's about
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah. Most people do that, but when in Revelation, I think it says like something like the last shall be first, the first shall be last, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to correctly. Did I state that correctly? First shall be last, and last shall be first.
Correct.
Maybe I think that's what you are referring to when you say
Yeah.
that's it. That is
That's
it.
it. That's it.
Yeah, but now when you say the Jews, like a black government or melanated government, the Jews when the in 70 AD the Romans dispersed the Jews all over the world. Like they went to Africa, to Europe,
Well, no.
everywhere.
See, brother, man. That's why the history, is false. All these things that we think happened back then is
Yeah.
happening now, and this is why the world is deceived. You know, the real Jews of God never been under Roman captivity until now. Rome never controlled the world until now. That's why you got the world wars.
Yeah.
So when it comes to a lot of Bible stories, these stories are connected to prophecy that was going to happen in the last days. And what the British have done is taken these stories and created a false history, a false timeline.
So Rome
You
doesn't
know,
exist.
see the whole
Rome
world.
doesn't. Rome doesn't exist. So is that what you're saying, brother?
Rome exists. Rome didn't exist in power in the ancient times. Rome wasn't ruling the world. Rome didn't have the Jews in captivity back then.
So how did the Jews like disperse all over the world?
Well, yeah, all this been again in the 1800s. They began dispersing the Jews all over the world in the 1800s. You see what
So
I'm
what
saying?
happened? So what happened to the
You got to
ancient?
look at it like this. Nobody
Uh,
in Africa had books because when the British took the writings, they took scrolls. They didn't
yeah.
take books from Africa. They took scrolls.
Yeah.
And every copy of the Bible is a translation from a scroll. So nobody in Africa had books. So when we say a Bible was in Africa, that can't be true. Because when the British took the writings, they was all scrolls in goatskin and 20 feet long, 10 feet long. So wasn't nobody walking around with scriptures.
Yeah.
So these writings are foreshadowing what we are actually doing right now. So the greatest trick is to make you not see what you actually are part of because you think it happened back then. See, so Christ, just like you read Christ walking among the people, talking to the people, and they not believing who he is, that's
Yeah.
what's happening now. But we'll never believe that. Why? Because Christ came 2,000 years ago and walked among the people. These are lies which is deception, which as the Bible quotes, the devil deceived the whole world. So
Just,
yeah, that's where the world is at, total darkness.
just to make it clear. So the ancient state of Israel didn't exist. Is that
Yeah,
what you
yeah,
said? The ancient
correct.
Israel didn't exist.
No, that's why Israel's a people. Jacob name got changed to Israel. Israel was never a land. They The United States and British made it a land when? In 1948. This is documented. The state of
So,
Israel
so
was
where was
created.
Jesus? When was Jesus crucified? Where?
Jesus is being crucified as we speak.
No, where? The location. Where did he was crucified?
Oh, spiritual
Jesus.
Egypt. The Bible says he was crucified in spiritual Egypt in Revelation. So the spiritual Egypt is the foreseen bondage and captivity of the Jews. It was foreseen that the Jews was going to be in captivity by all prophets. You
No,
know,
Jesus was crucified 2,000 years ago, right? And he was
no,
resurrected. He wasn't crucified.
no, he was crucified in spiritual Egypt. The Bible in Revelation says our Lord was crucified in spiritual Egypt.
Spiritual Egypt. So he wasn't crucified physically. Is
No,
that what you're saying?
no, the crucifixion was carry your burdens, brother. Everybody, it says, anybody that follows me have to take up their cross. So what is a cross? Burdens, humiliation, long suffering. That's
No,
what the
I get.
cross represents. The
Yeah,
cross
yeah, yeah.
represents.
That I get that. But what I didn't get is, are you trying to state like Jesus wasn't crucified physically? So Jesus doesn't exist, or how does that work? Like, if the state of Israel didn't exist,
Well, no, brother,
where did
you gotta understand.
Solomon, King David,
No,
Jacob, where were
no.
they in this
That's what I'm
land
saying.
of Canaan?
These are metaphors and parables, and you have to understand Israel is a people and not a land. Christ say, I come for the lost sheep of Israel. So what is Israel? A people. So you first have to understand that. And you have to go look up, when was Israel that you call Israel today, when was it created? If it was here in ancient times, it wouldn't be no need to create it. So it wasn't here in ancient time because Israel is a people that God prophesies about that was going to be revealed in the last days, because why? They are lost. They don't even know who they is. So they had to be awakened. And then once they awaken, they're going to what? Become Israel. So this is what we don't understand. That's why I say the devil deceived the whole world. This is what the Bible let us know. The
Okay,
devil deceived the whole world. So
when
the Jesus story, just hit me out. The Jesus
okay,
story is for the last days. You must understand that. If you don't understand that part,
yeah,
you're gonna always look into the past that you know nothing about.
okay. What did God mean by when He said to Abraham, "Go to the land of Canaan," and when He said, "I will give you this land, like for all generations to come"? Like, do you understand?
What
Abraham
generations
wasn't.
to come? He
Yeah,
told
to his.
Abraham, he told Abraham in Genesis, your seed was gonna be in captivity.
Yeah.
That they was gonna be in a land that their fathers knew not.
Uh-huh.
Right? He told
Yeah.
this to Abraham in Genesis. So right now, because the real Jews are not the Jews that's in Israel. We know the real Jews are African Americans.
Okay.
We know the real Jews are melanated people. So
Yeah.
these melanated people has never been in Roman captivity until now. In ancient times, we never been in Roman captivity. Roman never held us captive.
Yes,
This is
they
the
did.
only time the Romans
No,
have
I'm sorry.
actually held black people captive. They try to, that's what I'm saying. The history story are lies. Michael Jackson
Listen.
said this. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but y'all got to look at people when they speaking from their heart and passion. Right before Michael Jackson passed, he said the history books are lies. He said it's all false. See, we
When
don't understand how important that is because everybody based their research off what? History. That's a lie. And that's all I'm trying to say. So the whole story that we think happened in the past is happening now. The Jesus Christ that you hoping come
okay.
out of the sky, he's walking among the people just like he was when you read in the book.
So Christ is here on earth right now.
Correct. Christ is earth on here right now, brother. That's why I say,
Right
man,
now. Was he
if
preaching?
you really want to know, if you really seeking Christ and you really want to know, brother, because we got a lot of guests that want to come up,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
can
Okay.
go to Yaju Judah. You can go
Yeah.
to the TikTok or you can go to the website.
Yeah.
We got a petition, a
Yeah.
declaration. All these things lead you to Christ on earth.
Yeah.
If you really want to know. Now, if you think it's a game and it's a joke, don't go. But if you're really seeking,
Hmm.
that's the website to go to. It's gonna take you to the YouTube. We got many breakdowns. We break down scripture. We bring lost books out. We do all these things so we can give clarity to people who are meek, humble, and actually seeking God, as the scriptures say. So if you're seeking, brother man, that will be the website and the YouTube to go to.
I'm guessing like you want to start like a new religion or something like that.
No,
I'm
Christ
guessing.
is spirit and truth. Christ don't believe in religion. Christ don't teach a religion. The Bible say God is the God of truth, not the God of
Hmm.
religion. Man used religion to make you think man has the truth. But the Bible say what? Let every man be a liar and let God be true. So what do the
If
Bible tell us? God gonna use Christ.
okay,
God
listen,
gonna
brother.
use every man.
Okay,
If God was
if
gonna use every man, it wouldn't be no need for an angel. It wouldn't be no need for a Bible. It wouldn't be no need for Christ.
so,
So
the
God's
Bible
gonna
is
use every man.
totally wrong. Is that what you're saying? The Bible is totally wrong. Like it's false.
Huh? Say it again.
It, the Bible is
No,
totally false or wrong.
no.
Man,
Is
it's
that what
wrong.
you're saying?
No, the people that teach you the Bible is totally wrong and totally false. The Bible is true.
Okay, now we as an Ethiopian, I mean, we have the oldest and authentic Bible,
Yeah,
never
but
mixed with the Roman Catholic.
I'm saying the Bible is not the word. No matter what Bible you have or what translation you have,
The Bible
all
is
the
the word.
books. Let me out. All the books explain what God will do.
Okay.
All books. They don't give
Uh-huh.
you the word and the knowledge. They tell you
Okay.
what God gonna do. That's it.
Uh-huh.
That's
What
it.
God
God gonna send His Son, and His Son gonna reveal the truth that
he
you've been
already
waiting for to you,
he already did send his son, and he told us how to live. He taught us everything.
brother man.
In your Ethiopian Bible, is there any dates
For what?
for
Dates for what?
the prophecy that you said that happened in the past? Is there any dates in your Ethiopian Bible?
For the prophecy yet to come?
You just said it happened in the past. You believe in the 2,000 year of
Christ?
Christ?
Yeah, everything that the Bible's gonna say like happened 2,000 years ago. Christ,
Everything happened 2,000 years ago.
yeah, in the past. 2000.
Revelations happened in 2,000 years ago as well.
No, no, no. It's yet to pass. Not yet. Not yet.
Well, brother man, that's why the Bible say Christ gonna raise you up in the last days.
Yes, Jesus Christ himself will
To raise you up
return.
in the last days, right? The Bible say in the last days. So what is the last day?
Yeah,
What's the last
Christ.
day? 2,000 years ago,
No, what I'm saying is Christ will come again
and raise us
and
up.
raise us up.
Okay, but
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying. But if we already have God and Christ already given us something, why are we not raised up? That means
Uh,
that means Christ must ain't come and do nothing. That mean Christ ain't
he
do
did.
nothing for us.
He
If
did.
Christ got to come back and raise us up.
He did. He did raise us
Okay,
up.
well, okay,
He
well,
gave
okay,
us a new
well, ask
covenant.
you this. So
Yeah,
what did
okay.
Christ do for us 2,000 years ago?
He forgave our sin. Our sin were washed with his blood.
So are people still sinning?
Yes, but they can be forgiven. They can repent.
Okay, brother man. Hey, go to the website, brother man. We definitely appreciate you coming up asking your
All
questions,
right.
brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for
So
having me.
peace, peace.
Peace.
Y'all, if we don't take control of the situation, so that'd be my little song, man. I really listened to it and looked at it from the way the world is. Guns N' Roses. Hello. Man. Hello.
Peace.
What's up? What's up? Peace, peace.
Yeah, I can't say too long. Just have a couple of questions real quick. You mentioned something about African Americans being the chosen people, the real Hebrews, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. But of course we're scattered all over the world. So
What do you mean African Americans? Not African Brazilians?
that's why I just said we're scattered all over the world, brother. We've been scattered to the four corners of the earth. So we are on all parts of the earth as the scriptures are written.
Yeah. So when you say African American, you mean every African in the diaspora?
That's not what I'm saying. That's why every black African, every melanated person would not be of the government. The government is only a particular people of the melanated race.
Well, I don't think you understand my question. You said African Americans, and I asked you. So it doesn't apply to. Let me finish. Let me finish.
No, I heard
Let me
what you
finish.
said. No. You're trying to start something that ain't.
I'm not starting anything. I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question.
I'm finna answer for you. I'm not trying to cut you off because we finna jump the hump. We were scattered all over the world, so erase just African Americans. Erase that part, right? We are. That's why I said that earlier. Erase that part, right? You heard me?
You said it, African Americans. It's not the first time you said it. So I'm just want to ask you. I just want to ask you, when you say African Americans, you mean just people from America or in general Africans from the whole diaspora?
You're not trying to listen. That's why he ain't showing his face. All right, brother man.
Yeah, I'll show my face. Is that your problem? I show my face. I got no problem showing my face. You want me to show? Do you want me to show my face and then you answer my question?
You don't want to show. You don't want to erase.
Would you like me to show my face and then you answer my question?
Thank you for coming up, brother man.
Come on, man. Don't be a jerk.
I'm not.
You're being a jerk. You're not replying to my question. You use the expression African Americans.
He's still saying African American. I told him to erase that. We scattered all over the world.
African Americans and Africans that are also scattered around the world. It's four corners.
He didn't want to erase it. He came up here to argue. People want to argue with me because they can't find else to prove me wrong. So they be on here like this. I got him. Let me go up.
How are you all?
Peace.
What's going on? Peace.
Love and peace. You know, I have a question. When you spoke about the Romans and the civilization not existing, how do you reconcile the Colosseum? How do you reconcile the Roman?
I understand what I'm saying, brother. I'm saying they didn't exist in world power. They didn't exist in world dominance, and they wasn't controlling the world back then, thousands of years ago. Everybody had their own land. Everybody was controlling their own land thousands of years ago. The Romans just received world dominance after World War II. And this is why I was trying to show him how the history story is false.
Okay, because you're not looking at any of the writings from Cicero, Livy. You're not looking at any of the writings. You're not looking at any of the evidence of the Romans being a dominant empire in the past at all.
Well, brother man, listen. All the writings were stolen from Africa. Do you not know this? All the biblical scrolls were stolen from Africa.
So Cicero and the sculptures of Cicero and the sculptures of Livy and the sculpture, those are all stolen. Those are all with hair that's not African. I mean, come on. What?
You said sculptures?
The sculptures, all the evidence of the Roman Empire, which is so thorough. There's not been a civilization with more documentation and evidence besides the Roman Empire, and it is everywhere, and it is within books, within sculptures, within buildings. It is just so prevalent that to make that argument makes you guys look ridiculous. And I'm not even trying to be insulting because you're intelligent, and I want to be nice. Yeah.
When did the Rome gain power?
The Romans were way back.
When?
The exact date, I can't. You want the exact date? I can give you the exact date.
No. You don't give me the exact date. Just give me it's just an estimate. You ain't gotta be the exact. I'm not looking for exact dates. I just want an estimate. You say way back, cause I just want to know what way back mean. 56 BC. So when was black people kings and queens? I just want people to let's walk down history. And we gonna talk some common sense. Because you only got 5 minutes now, brother. So you ain't got to narrow it down. Keep it quick so we can keep it moving. So you unmute your mic. Just give me an estimate. You ain't got to go on Google. You must know what you're talking about because you calling us ignorant. So just give us some estimates, man. You know. So you muted. If you don't know, you are muted.
Because all their calendars start off of Christ.
Yeah, they start out with Christ. You know, so I just want to know when did they take over? Because when was we?
27 BC to 4.
Okay,
27
so
BC to
7 BC. Okay, so that's before Christ, right?
20.
You kind of sound mumble. We can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you
That's
now.
better now.
How about now? Is it better?
Okay, so when was kings and queens in Africa?
It's echoing.
I'm asking, since you know so much.
The Roman civilization has nothing to do with the African civilization. Nothing.
Okay, so they didn't steal or they didn't take the biblical scrolls because right now the Vatican got in their museum and hidden biblical scrolls. They got them hidden. Everybody
I
knows.
agree with you.
They got multiple African things.
Multiple.
They don't got their things.
Yeah, they ain't got Roman things in the museum. They got African things, right? So we got facts that the biblical writings come from Africa.
There's so much echo.
Hold up. So if they got dates that got Christ in it, Christ will come from where? Rome or Africa? Because the Pope got a what? Black, married.
It came out of the Middle East. Those scrolls came out of the Middle East.
That's the question. What does Christ come from? Africa or Rome?
It came out of the Middle East, not Africa. Those scrolls came out of the Middle East, my man.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You don't know nothing about the truth, and you don't even know what standpoint we on, brother man. So it's a lot of stuff that you have to understand to even be in a conversation with us. You see what I'm saying? You coming from because everybody knows these writings, the first paintings of Christ, the first churches, they come from Ethiopia. They don't come from Israel. So to really get in a good conversation, we have to go over a lot of stuff, man. And like I said, it won't benefit.
You gotta narrow down the
You ain't
scrolls.
ready, brother. You ain't ready.
The echo's so bad I can't even go back and forth with you. But seriously, much love to you both for going after the truth, regardless.
All right. Appreciate it, brother.
Thanks for coming up. Peace.
And see, that's why people are so afraid of the Roman Catholic Church. Because we think Rome have been ruling for so long. Why do you think the Romans created the time and put themselves in dominance over the whole period? The Romans make you think they've been running stuff forever. I don't know, y'all. What's going on, man? Peace.
Hey, thank you for having me out.
What's going on? No problem.
Oh, the volume's terrible.
On my end?
How come the volume's terrible?
It's terrible on my end?
Can you hear me?
I can hear us.
You mentioned the serpent, the devil that deceived the whole world, and he was thrown in the lake of fire. But also, that's because he gave power to the rider of the white horse who deceived the whole world, which I believe we're living in Revelations. Well, I know we are.
Well,
And I know who the 144,000 are. I know who the two witnesses are.
Hold on, brother man. I know, but we ain't trying to get into all that. We wanna kind of stick on what the title is. You know, do you agree with the title or do you disagree?
Christ is coming back. Yeah, really soon. I've seen the abomination that causes desolation.
Hey, brother man, read the whole title.
Yeah, I can't read that. Words beyond my education level.
Oh, you don't know what melanated means?
No, sir.
Melanated means black people. What they so-called call black people.
Hey, I love you people. I love you guys.
So do you agree with the title?
Nothing to do with government. No.
Okay, so we're gonna go to we
He's
heard you,
gonna
brother man.
Jesus is gonna rule for 1,000
Brother man,
years.
brother man,
That's
brother
what
man,
he's.
brother man, brother man. Just hear this out. Let's go to Isaiah 9 and 6. You got your Bible with you?
I don't. I'm gonna take your word for it.
It says, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders. And the government shall be upon his shoulders. And his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace." So what's going to be on his shoulders?
The government.
Now you just said Christ has nothing to do with government, right?
Well, I know that God put in the hearts of the kings to hand over the kingdoms to the beast, so his Bible prophecies could be fulfilled, and we're living there, buddy.
Okay.
I ain't talking on your subject, so I'm going to go. I thank you, guys. God bless you all.
All right, brother man. Peace, peace.
I'm going to follow.
Oops, sorry.
Now he just said Christ wasn't here for a government, but when I read government, he was like, like what,
He had to go.
like what, like we have to. This is what we don't know. That's why we up here to reveal. But this is Babylon is deep, y'all. Babylon is deep, man. We find ourselves just talking about something that we not really,
And they expose the lies
don't
that
understand.
expose the lies that come out your mouth.
Yo,
What's up, man? Peace, peace.
what's up, bro? Peace. So I'm saying, okay, so y'all, wait, can you tell me more about the title?
Well, I just want to give you our rules. If you only got 5 minutes if you don't turn your camera on. So, but if you want to stay up here longer and dialogue, you have to turn your camera on.
Yeah, 5 minutes is enough. 5 minutes is enough.
Okay.
All right, so tell me more about the title real quick.
Well, what you want to know?
Like, would you mean like restore the melanated government? Is this coming from like, has it been pre-established before, or does it need to happen more now than ever?
No, it's never been pre-established. That's why Christ comes to restore and establish. I mean, what it says to restore the fallen tents of David.
Okay,
That's what Christ comes to do. Restore the fallen tents of David.
okay, so do you believe Christ was melanated?
Yeah, I know Christ is melanated.
All right. So, okay, I'm just saying from my religion, because Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said, "O people, your Lord is one, and your father is Adam. There's no favor of an Arab over a foreigner, nor a foreigner over an Arab, neither white skin over black skin, nor black skin over white skin, except by righteousness."
Okay. That's
So,
true.
do you believe that like non-melanated people can join the government, or is the government, are you referring to only Christ as the leader?
No, non-melanated people can join the truth.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? Like the truth is for everybody. Righteousness is for everybody.
Yeah.
They got black people gonna do wrong. They got evil black people. They got righteous black people. They got evil white people. They got righteous white people. So
Yeah.
when it comes to right and wrong, that's for everybody. But this is just strictly a melanated government.
And is okay, yeah. So is the government entity, is Christ the only part of it, or does he have like, pieces of the government just like
It's the
America?
body of Christ. No, Christ have other members. It's the body of Christ. Christ is just the head of the government. You have many members that will make up this government.
Okay. I respect your belief. Yeah, take care, bro.
No problem. Peace, peace.
Peace.
So I want to do a recap on why we're saying this, y'all. Let's go to Isaiah 42 and 22. Let's see what it reads. But this is a people robbed. Now we can stop right there. Who? What's a people that's robbed? We know who robbed, y'all. And spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. They are hid in prison houses. They are for prey, and none delivered. For a spoil, and none said restore. None say restore. Nobody is restoring the African people. They constantly robbing us. They constantly running tests on us. They travel, people go all the way to Africa to poison Africans. Nobody say restore. You know, they take land from us. They're oppressors. You know, they came, gave us drugs. They put it in our communities. They drop off guns. They still dropping off guns in our communities. We don't make guns. You know, we don't make guns. You know, so the things about what we are talking about, y'all, you know, just understand that we are the people of the book. That's it. And when we get right, we bring healing to the world. That's it. So when everybody try to turn this title into hate speech, what we gonna do? Slap them in the face. We gonna slap them with the truth. And that's why the truth hurts. You know? Okay. Yeah.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
What's up?
Turn my phone up real quick. I can barely hear y'all. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you good.
Okay, all right. See, the problem is, this is the problem. I don't believe Christ is coming. People always talk about the Bible, the scriptures in the Bible, but nobody ever talk about when was the Bible created.
Okay.
How was the Bible even thought of to be created? Hold on. Let me just speak. Let me get 2 seconds. Let me get 2 seconds. Because look.
I'm going to give you back the floor. I just want to go to the standpoint. We're not going to go into a debate and all that right now. We just want to stick on one thing. And we want you to say if you agree or disagree. Now, if you don't believe Christ is coming, that's cool. You know, but to get into a full-blown conversation about a lot of stuff, man, I don't think we really have the time for it.
Okay. Because I'm Muslim as well. I mean, because I got my ex, but I also, you know, I used to go to the church a lot. But is Christ coming back? Somebody's coming back, but I don't believe it's him.
Well, you gotta understand, we're not speaking about a 2,000-year-old deity. We're speaking of what the CIA been trying to do. Stop the rise of a Messiah. So a Messiah will rise among us to be the leader of our government. That's it. It's not hopeless. It's not. It's because right now we have to have a leader. If we got any organization, would you not have to have a leader?
Yeah, we have to have the leader, a black leader. We definitely have to have a black leader.
Okay, that's what Christ is. They just messed up because right now we are in a spell, spelling words. So when some people hear Messiah, they don't hear a black leader. What they hear? Jesus that came 2,000 years ago. That's a spell. That's images on spelling words. So Christ is a black leader. So you already agree. We got to have a Christ. Now, you might not use the word Christ. You might not use the word Messiah. You might not use none of the religious terms. But the principle of the matter, you are with. And see,
I'm agree. Yeah. I'm with it.
We was looking into 501c. You know what every 501c stop you from doing? Fighting against politics. Every church that teaches can't talk about what? Politics. But that's what the whole. That's what the whole.
That's how propaganda. Yeah, that's how propaganda was spread around. You know, from politics, we adopted foreign holidays. Everything is money. So I get what you're saying, but I do agree that somebody's coming. I'm just not so sure that his name is Jesus. There's a lot of reasons for that, but like I said, we ain't gonna get into a debate. But I do believe a black man is coming, but not in the name of Jesus.
Hey, brother man, that's the website that reveal who the black man is. We on here telling people who this individual is. We're not on here preaching religion. We just using the tools that reveal what the truth or how the truth would actually go. So right now, we're revealing that black man on earth.
I get it. I agree.
That's our
you made a believer out of me. I agree 100%. Now it makes sense. I believe it.
All right, nice talking to y'all. You got me. I'm gonna send you a follow too. You definitely got me. I want to hear more what you got to say, and I'll speak to y'all later.
All right, salute to you. Now, I want us to see how when we don't talk knowledge and wisdom and speak logic, but use these things we are trapped in. See, the Bible is a tool to get us out the trap. The Bible is not a book to give us knowledge and wisdom. So if this book talk about a people that's robbed, a people that's hidden in prison houses, so we can clarify why the CIA is trying to stop. Because prison reform, we know prison is about money. Churches is about money. Colleges, money. Sports, money. And who they using? Us. We the inventors. We the singers. We play all the sports. We the actors. What's the best movies? What's the best movies? What's the best TV shows? We the social media. So the CIA been trying to stop the rise of a Messiah because who the CIA is working for? We know who the CIA is working for, y'all. That's not who we paying taxes to. Who run America? Come on now, y'all. So why would they try to stop the rise of a Messiah? Because their empire is shut down, which is their evil empire. That actually God caused to set up to give us our whooping. The British Empire is our whooping. Because why? We didn't want to do right on God. So all we got to do is worry about what? Doing right. We don't worry about hating nobody. We ain't pointing a finger. We just turning into righteousness and all our problems are fixed. So I'm going to read the scripture again, Isaiah 42 and 22. It says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes. They are hid in prison houses. They are for prey and none delivered. For a spoil and none said restore. Nobody that has read the book has what? Tried to restore us. No one. What have they done? Read the scriptures and say Christ's gonna come. So nobody has been doing God's will. They've been doing the devil's will, scattering us. That's why in verse 23 it says, who among you will give ear to this? Who will give ear to this? To that? Who will give ear to this? Christ black to restore a melanated government. Who will give ear to the one that's speaking on behalf of what? Restoring the people. Not teaching the people. Because I can restore the people without teaching. Guess what I got to do? Create a government, because where is the government? On my shoulders. The government will be on Christ's shoulders. So it says, who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? Everybody want to listen to the scriptures. That's what everybody want to do. Book, chapter, verse. That's all you hear. What? This is my woman. This is what nobody who reads the Bible talks about. We're going to change that. Like Sam Cooke said, change gonna come, and it has come. Change has finally come.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Peace, peace. You hear you.
How you doing? I was just listening to you and the gentleman earlier on about the Roman Empire, and I was gonna say, you're saying a lot of things are stolen in the Vatican. But first, I want to ask you a quick question. Deal with what you're saying. Christ is back to restore the melanated government. Are you on about a world government, a government in America? As I take it, you're in America. I don't know.
Now, yeah, it's
What?
gonna be a world government. It's gonna be
So
Christ.
there's going to
Christ's
be
government
a
will be
one
the
world
leader.
government there.
Christ's government will be the head of all governments. But I want to
Do you
give you
know?
a few rules. Now, if you turn your camera on, you will be able to dog that with us. If not, you're only gonna
Oh,
have
I won't.
5 minutes.
I'm not staying long because I have to just. But I just came across this and I thought interesting title. So there's going to be a one world government. You're saying, correct?
Correct.
Do you know where it's going to be based?
In Ethiopia.
Okay, Ethiopia. Is it going to be in our lifetime? I mean, I'm like 35 years old. I don't know. I'm just trying to like learn here.
Oh yeah, trust me, brother. Hey, is at your doorsteps, man. Believe it or not, this is why all this commotion is for. Like right now, we are contacting and speaking with our brothers all over the world. You know, we are talking amongst each other. We are speaking knowledge and wisdom. A lot of us don't even understand why we're doing these things because it's a change that's finna take place. So yes, man, like everything is literally at our doorstep. This is not a 10-year, 20-year, 5-year process. These are things that's transpiring and happening as we
What
speak.
makes you think that it will shift towards Ethiopia? Because I'm in the UK at the moment. I'm in London, and we have something called the European Union, which is a power base. The World Court is in The Hague, Holland, I believe. The United Nations is in New York. Do you see where I'm going with this? I'm just trying to work out
Well, yeah, I
how
understand that. And
how would it shift.
it was shift because the throne of David, Christ sits on David's throne.
Okie doke.
So David's throne is in East Africa, Ethiopia. The
Not
African
Jerusalem.
Union is in Ethiopia.
Oh,
The
okay.
Bible comes from Ethiopia. So when you talk about Ethiopia, Ethiopia has a lot to do, or East Africa period has a lot to do with Bible prophecy, and that's why they have tricked the world and made people think the Bible come from Middle East.
Mm.
The Bible actually comes from East Africa. So when you talk about the African Union, uh, the continent of Africa, the powerhouse, the resources it has, and if the throne is in Africa, then of course Africa will be the place for everything, because this is what
So
Christ and God will
so
be.
so is it a literal Christ coming back or like a Christ consciousness? Because obviously there's a guy, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, somebody called Lord Maitreya. Have you ever heard of this individual before?
No, I never heard of it.
No? Yeah. Because like so is it a Christ literal Christ coming from heaven down?
Well, yeah, the Christ is actually already here. The Christ is not. Christ is a chosen living Son of Man. Christ is like a Moses. Christ is someone that see the oppression of the people. He among the people, and God anoints him to free the people. That's what
Oh,
Christ
so
is.
it's not
Not a
so it's
religious
so it's not
deity.
it's not like an individual then.
Yes, Moses was an individual.
Oh, I got you now.
You
I
see what I'm
got you.
saying?
I
So
thought
yeah,
maybe
so Christ is a
okay.
chosen living Son of Man.
Yeah.
So God has chosen a living Son of Man, and this Son of Man is gathering other, men and women, and
Yeah.
forming a government to create world change, all in the name and the will of God.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna follow you. So I said, it's interesting what you're saying here. It's always good to learn these sort type of things. But keep it up, my friend. You and your lady there. You know. All right.
All right,
God
no
bless you all.
problem, man. And like I
Bye.
said, if you want to know more, there's a declaration. If you go to their website, yajujudah.com, Christ has a
Thank you.
declaration
Yeah.
and a petition. So if
Oh,
you go check
brilliant.
it out, man, and read it, and you might get a little more
Okay.
insight.
Thank you very much, sir. All right. Then. Bye.
Peace, peace. So again, y'all, if you turn your camera on, you can stay longer than 5 minutes. If not, you're only gonna get 5 minutes. What's going on, Max? Max Payne. I don't think you know you up there.
Next message.
So let's read the scripture one more time, y'all. Why Christ will be coming back for a melanated government. It says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for prey. So the biblical people are for prey. They in holes. They are robbed. It says, and none delivered. For a spoil, and none said restore. Nobody said, man, let's restore these people. Nobody. Nobody that teaches the Bible has went forth to restore us. They all prepared us to do what? Wait for the sky to crack. And it ain't cracked yet. And nothing has what? Been restored. You know. So let's talk about Jeremiah, because everybody talk about their heritage. We ain't got our heritage. No, what do I want to read? I want to read Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Let's start at verse 34. Let's start at verse 34. It reads, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thy eyes, which thou shalt see. The Lord shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs, with sore botch that cannot be healed from the sole of thy foot to the top of thy head. So nobody can heal us if they tried. That's why Christ was going to let every man be a liar, because they weren't going to have no healing. It says, the Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which thou nor thy fathers have known. And there thou shalt serve other gods, wood and stone. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee. So what is this byword that we have become? What is this astonishment that is upon the biblical people? We are astonished. I was talking to an older man yesterday. He was talking about how, every nation got restaurants, stores. Where are restaurants and stores at? Why we don't have our own corner store in our neighborhood? We used to. But we have become an astonishment and a byword. We African, we melanated, we black, I can't say the N words. We all these are bywords, y'all. We Moors. We don't know what we are. We are bywords, a proverb. We worship in wood and stone. I could keep reading, y'all, because Deuteronomy 28 talk about the curses, so I don't want to start and not stop. So what I really want to put at, y'all, we are a byword. Yes, we are a byword. Yeah. Color, that's another one. Yeah.
Hello, brother. How y'all doing?
What's going on? Peace.
Yeah, I just have a question about oh, okay, hold on. All right. Okay. Hello, how y'all doing? Good morning.
I'm good, brother, man.
Yes, I just have a question. What do you think about like the other melanated nations, like the Mexican Americans and Native Americans? And what do you think about them? Would they be part of the group? Not quite sure about what you're trying to say here.
Well, the thing about I don't know what you mean when I'm trying to say like melanated would be the black people that have been really East Africans. Put it that way. That's
Okay.
more the East Africans that have been scattered all over the world.
No, I believe that too as well. I'm Mexican American, so we have a lot of rich history of African American in our DNA as well. But we've been how do you say it? Uh, colonized. I don't know if you know the history about it, about our culture, but we got whited out. How do you say it? Or melanated
Well, yeah,
got
yeah.
whited out.
Um, yeah, that's why I say it's a lot of black Mexicans. If you go to Mexico and certain
Yeah.
parts of Mexico, you have black Mexicans. And
Okay.
like so yeah, like a lot of people have been whited out. Because we scattered all over the world. But at the end of the day, the melanated government is gonna benefit all nations. It's
Okay.
not that it's gonna be a melanated government and everybody else gonna be left out and just be left for done. No, the melanated government is just the chosen government that will bring the correct image to the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was all I wanted to say. It's no disrespect to your beliefs or anything like that. I was just listening to y'all. That's all I was just trying to do.
No problem, man. Yeah,
Hey,
that's
y'all
what
stay up, man. Go ahead.
I was saying. Yeah, that's what we have panels for, so people could really come up and ask you questions, whatever you want to
Yeah.
ask, so we can get understanding and really see what's going on because this change has to take place for all nations. You know,
Okay.
all nations have to realize and come to the truth of God.
Yes.
So that's what it's about at the end of the day. You know,
Okay. I
it's
appreciate you.
melanated people.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Peace. Yeah, that's what we put these titles up so people can really come ask the questions and see validity of what's really being said, y'all. So I do appreciate y'all who actually come up and ask, righteous questions. So I want to read another scripture in Isaiah 63. Isaiah 63. I want to read another scripture. Isaiah 63 and what? 5. Isaiah 63. Let's go to verse 4. I'm going to start at verse 4. Isaiah 63, 4 and 5. It says, "For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come. I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered, and there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me." I'm really doing that. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's go to Jeremiah 30 and 14. That was good, but it wasn't really according to what I wanted. "And I will thread down the people in my anger, and I will make them drunk in my fury." People ain't gonna get it. They ain't gonna get what I'm trying to. It don't really go with the title. So let's jump to Jeremiah 30. I just want to read scriptures that really just bring understanding to the title and not parables that might throw people off. Yeah, that is. But it don't. It read for us like the calling of God. So I want to start in Jeremiah chapter 30. Let's start at verse 12. We're going to read 12 through 14. Jeremiah chapter 30. Verse 12. It says, "For thus says the Lord, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. There is none to plead thy cause." See, ain't nobody pleading for us. They reading scriptures. It says, there is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. So the one that's crucified the one that's being crucified is going to do what? The healing. It says, all thy lovers have forgotten thee. Everybody used to love to come see what? The black man knowledge. The black man discoveries. It says, they seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, and the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thy iniquity, because thy sins were increased. It says, I have wounded. It says, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy. So why are these things happening to us? That's why it's very important, y'all. And that's why we are the generation that's taking accountability. We are not the generation that's going to pick up guns and want to kill people, although they kill us. But remember, that's why the arts had to be from heaven. And they only do these things because we went against God. None of these things would have been happening to our people. It's like right now, say you go do something that affects your family. So when you go do something that affects your family, they might come what? Shoot up the house. And now your whole family got hurt because of what you did. So even though the people did it and was totally wrong, it's still some accountability on it of why they did it. Because every action has a what? A cause and an effect. And every action is going to have what? A reaction. So the cause and effect of what we're going through, because we sin against God, that's the cause. The effect is what we see. We see how this have affected us. And the only way to fix it is what? Go back to God, which is the giver of direction. And how we was told God is going to give us direction through Christ. And I know when I say Christ, y'all, I'm not talking about a deity or a religious figure. I'm talking about a chosen leader among us, like you read in the scriptures. Because when it was time for God to save us, nobody came out the sky. When it was time for God to save us, what happened? A living vessel who God was dwelling in, or who God gave a blessing to, brought us a message that was from God. It's just that simple, y'all. Looking at the sky.
That's sad one.
What who that is want to come up? Yeah, we all come up. Yeah,
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. There it is. How you doing?
What's up, brother man?
You got it, brother. I had a question. I know I believe in all you're getting. You have to get understanding, and so when I read in Revelation, in the book of Revelation, where it talks about he said in the land of the Lord, you shall possess your possessors, whose captive you were. Can you explain that?
Well, all the people, like the captives, really, the Bible is a spiritual that he was physical. Because we are captive in the spiritual mind, we physical in captivity. So the people that hold us captive is the ones that give us false information, so they would no longer rule over us. That's really all it means. Like those that rule over us would no longer rule over us.
Right.
You know, to hold us with lies, hold us in that position. You know, whether it's physical, whether it's spiritual, we will be ruling over them.
There it is. Yeah. There it is.
It's like a pastor is no longer a leader that's holding us back. You know how somebody say, man, you've been holding me back for too long. Somebody that's holding you back is what? Somebody that got you in captivity.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So ain't no more holding us back. You know? And like I say, that's what we're gonna hold them back for talking lies and doing unrighteousness. We're gonna be able to hold them back. We're not holding them back for doing right. We holding them back for doing wrong.
Right.
So it's almost like getting rid of the lies. It's like they got a story of Solomon. When Solomon bounds all the spirits, he put them in a jar and put a cap on it.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So he put the spirits in captivity. He put the lies in captivity so they couldn't go out and do what? Spread their unrighteousness.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just like, you know, that kind of parable.
Because the kind of, you know, I think it was the prophet Elijah. I might be wrong, but he said, "Must Israel remain a slave? God forbid." And then, like when you go to the Book of Revelation, talks about that captivity. I was seeing. I've been thinking my own thoughts. I know, you never should lead to your own understanding. But in my own thoughts, I was thinking how those two went together.
Say it again?
You know what? I think it was the prophet Elijah. I could be wrong if it was Elijah or not, but he said, shall Israel remain a slave? God forbid. He was saying, no, they shouldn't remain. They shouldn't remain a slave. But then, you go to Revelation, you find where it says, in the land of the Lord, how they should be. You shall possess your possessor whose captive you were. So, you know, yeah. Can you explain how if those relate to each other or they connect to each other?
The part where it says, I got the Revelation part, but what you're trying to say connect to, I'm trying to see what you're speaking of over Elijah. Like Elijah defeating the musicians, defeating the prophets of Babylon.
Yeah, I think it was in I know it's in the Old Testament where he was talking. He was asking God. The prophet was asking God. Said, "Shall Israel remain a slave?" And he said, "God forbid."
I know they got a verse in Jeremiah.
Yeah, that might be it.
Is Israel a servant? Is Israel a homeborn slave?
There
Why
it
is
is.
the fall? Like, why is Israel a slave? Like, why is these things being done to them? And that goes to evil that we did against God. We are in this condition because of what we did against God.
There you go.
And a lot of times we have pointed our finger at the white man and say the white man put us in slavery. And we never took accountability, or we never had the understanding why we was actually in this condition. That's why I say we the first generation to accept God has done these things to us as a collective. You know, everybody else just went off emotions and pointing the finger at another race for us being in this condition and not understanding why.
Right. That's all I wanted, you know. That's all I want. I wanted a little understanding on that. That's all.
All right.
Yeah, I appreciate you too, brother.
No problem, brother, man. No problem.
All right.
So I want to read Jeremiah 3:13. Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 13 and 14. Well, I might read a little further down. It says, "For my people have committed two evils." It say, "For my people." So we're not talking about the white man. "For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters." The living waters, which is what? The waters that's among you that God is dwelling in, because God only dwells in living things, not things of the dead and not books. So the first evil was rejecting the living God. And hewed them out chrisms, broken chrisms that cannot hold water. That means they come to you and the water and leaked all out. So they come to you with nothing. It says, is Israel a servant? Is he a home-born slave? Is he just born a slave? Why is he spoiled? The young lions have roared at him and yelled, and they have made his land waste. His cities are burned without inhabitant. Also the children of Nob and the children of Tahabnis have broken the crown of thy head. Hast thou not punctured this unto thyself, and thou hast forsaken the Lord thy God when he led thee by the way? So it's showing you how what? We have forsaken God, which is why we're in this condition. This have not been told to the race of people that's in this condition. We have been told it's the white man's fault, it's the white man's fault, it's the white man's fault, it's the system, but we never took accountability in what our forefathers did and what we doing, because we are doing the same thing our forefathers did, and not what? Receiving God healing. Because what are we rejecting? The living waters. The water that's among you, not the one you imagine, because the book say God gonna use Christ. That's one thing we can all agree with. It didn't say God gonna use every man, woman on the face of the earth. It say God gonna pour out his spirit, but how does God pour it out? You gotta come with the one, what do they call him? I forgot what they call Christ. The cup barrier or something, but that's why we don't, like I said, we don't understand these things, and that's why we always give you valid facts of why Christ is among us as we read in the book. Yeah, 82 followers? That ain't be real.
Peace, DJ.
Greetings.
What's going on? Peace.
What's going on my camera?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to be able to turn your camera on.
This need live, blah, blah, blah. All right. Yeah. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear
you. You'll connect using audio only. I'm not getting the camera to come on.
That's fine. We'll just give you 5 minutes. I don't think you got enough followers to.
That's a lot of time. All right. So you see, Christ is back to restore the melanated government, right? All right. So when you say government, do you mean world government? Are we looking at our world government or?
Yeah, world government.
World government. Okay. So so basically what you're getting at is that Christ, right? Christ in the sense of Christ, the concept from what we were taught initially as a savior figure, or are we looking at Christ consciousness and the energies that surround that can take up any individual and by so doing allow for them to do the work of the Most High? Because I said Christ here, I'm not sure what you mean exactly.
No, Christ is an individual leader.
Christ is a leader.
Christ is the leader of God's government.
So okay, so we're differentiating Christ as the leader of God's government, and the same Christ meaning the Christ. Well, yeah, what we know as Christ, right? The Jesus Christ process. That's what we're looking at.
The Bible says we don't know Christ. The religion have deceived us.
Right.
So we don't know who Christ is because Christ gonna be a chosen living vessel. So Christ ain't gonna be a deity or a religious figure.
Right.
Christ is gonna be a chosen leader that walks among us that God have anointed to gather other leaders to create God's government. That's all Christ is. So I know
Okay.
when a lot of people hear Christ, they'll attach it to what they imagine and what religion have told us, and that has nothing to do with Christ. Christ don't
Right.
come from the sky. Christ don't do magic tricks. Christ,
Yeah. So what? So when you mention Christ, then the within the presence of a highly Selassie, what the work that he did, even though he had his limitations in his time, right? They're saying that there's going to be another figure that is to come about that's supposed to bring the world to some semblance of order. That's the vision that you're projecting.
correct, yeah, yeah. That's the like
Yes,
Haile
we don't. Yes,
Selassie did fulfill prophecy.
right.
Haile Selassie was a Christ. Now you could put him because he sat on the throne, but he wasn't a prophesized Christ. You know, Haile Selassie didn't restore. Haile Selassie didn't gather us all from the nations. Haile Selassie didn't remove the Roman power. He didn't do
Right.
none of these things. He didn't fulfill prophecy. And that's what a lot of Rastafarians don't want to accept because they have made him Christ. Haile Selassie said himself he wasn't Christ.
Right.
So
Exactly.
it's
I
a
want to
lot of
just, I want to ensure you're clear on that. Right, great. Thanks for the clarification. No, so you're saying so you have identified this potential figure?
correct.
Okay, interesting. And that should be also stemming from an African or melanated person.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. So I was doing some research and I came across a name, trying to remember the name right now, which would be what would be referred to as an antichrist that will come and try to deceive the people, right? Um, how do we now centralize and help to shape the masses, the minds of the masses to accept not what they? Because remember, if you create a prophecy and the conditions for the prophecy to come through, and you actively do things to make people believe that, right, through advertisements and all of that, then they'll believe when they see certain works happening, right? So how do we differentiate a potential false Christ from from the correct one, right? How do we differentiate? Because may I say, if it reaches a point where somebody is coming back to save us, because I don't really subscribe to the savior mentality. I feel that's something that has been projected on us for us to not act, right? Christ is coming back to fix all the ills of the world and all of this madness, in which you within yourself and your own consciousness, right, will be able to determine and reshape the world by virtue of connecting with the people that resonate with you. And over time, more persons thinking similarly can create a reality that is based on what is the norm, right? The new norm then in the age of Aquarius, where people are more aware of certain knowledge, information, history, and so forth, right? So may I say, at the end of the day, it's a very difficult task when people are all distracted by random social media madness or life, various things. And my question has always been, how do we unify the people when they all are so divided, right? When a hurricane or something happens, the neighbor that we didn't talk to becomes our friend because they're helping us to keep our house safe or whatever it is. So we can unify for a common cause within reason. I'm a Jamaican, right? And though I'm a Jamaican, I'm also a person from a past university, a past school, and like high school and so on. And we have a sport team that will follow whatever it is. So we are individually able to support a thing once it benefits us. But at the very least, when it all boils down to the nitty gritty, it's going to go back to blood, right? Your immediate family, the persons you call family that are friends, and so on. People that you cling to, right? We are all well, for the most part, intermixed, right? So everybody have some kind of part of genes here and there, right? And we can't look at a person and say, oh, they are this complexion, so therefore they are for us, right? Because in every community, every society, every company, you have the good and bad version of the same people looking the same. So the underlying thing would be, how do we unify everyone or the majority? Because really majority will
That's why I
change.
say it's about right. Like most time when somebody is being backstabbed, It's because they have an enemy, and their enemy is based on evil. So when you have all righteous government in the earth, then you able to remove the evilness because evil will have nowhere to go. It's like light. Darkness have nowhere to go if the light is on everywhere. If we all cut our lights on, darkness don't exist no more.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I get where you're getting to, but I'm thinking we only know light in relation to dark. It's two opposites that are necessary. And I don't even subscribe to a dualistic mindset either. I believe in a trinity, the trinity being right, wrong, and neutral, right? And all those are conditional based on a utilitarian
But,
perspective. So I
but
operate
I
under
think
the notion
look,
that what I do and what others should do is for the greater good.
but no,
However,
I hear
that
what you're saying. You guys saying darkness. We want to we want to consider darkness as being wrong. Darkness is not knowing.
no, we're not saying wrong. I
That's what I'm
brought it
saying.
across
So
in that way
darkness.
to show you that you only know one in relation to the
But
other. So
no,
you cannot
no.
eliminate one.
That's what I'm saying. No, dark. That's
You can
that's that's
suppress
in
one.
teachings. But darkness is not knowing. Darkness has nothing to do with right and wrong. When you are in the dark, you don't know. You see what I'm saying? So that's the darkness we're removing. We gonna know.
I mean,
So we
yeah,
won't fall back into darkness. We won't fall
okay,
into what? Not knowing.
right.
You see what I'm saying? So
So the
you
whole
always
essence is
have
to educate
experiences
persons.
where you go through things to learn. Now that's life.
Yeah.
You don't always have trial and error. That's what you mean, the duality of trial and error. But wrong and right, you can always do right. You don't have to do wrong to know right. You
No,
know?
what I'm saying is the existence of wrong is in relation to right. There are two opposites that are necessary, right? So I would say you can suppress one and one survives or is more dominant. In the world today, some people might say there's more evil being done than good, right? But other persons might beg to differ based on their perspective. So I'm saying at the end of the day,
But then you got one person that will be telling the truth, and you got one person that will be lying. See, the perspective of where we coming from is not based off what the average mind think. That's why
right,
we have a government right now. No matter what the people think, the government gonna do gonna do what it's gonna do. Because the people thoughts don't matter when it comes to the government because the government is elected. So you elect your government to pass things for you. So
right,
no matter what you think as a civilian, the government gonna pass laws. That's
yeah,
how it is with God. But we all want to put our thoughts on God ways when the
hmm
Bible instructs us what? God thoughts are not like your thoughts. God
right.
ways are not like your ways. And
So
see,
okay,
this
so what
causes
kind of
a lot of, I would say what? Conversation that might not even be needed.
yeah. That's true. That's true. So hold on. So what kind of timeline are you projecting for this savior being to come about and start that process? And I mean,
So he's here.
um, huh?
He's here. That's why I says the Son of Man must be lifted up and all men gonna come. So now he's being lifted up so everybody can know who he is.
Right. And so yeah. So I'd like to know how to identify this person as being I don't know a factual being and what they stand for and all of that.
Well, yeah, that's what the website for. If you go to that website right there, you'll be
Hmm.
able to find all the information you need. You'll be able to find a declaration, a petition, a YouTube with a lot of teachings and a lot of breakdowns, a lot of revealing. All of it is right there.
Okay. Okay. I'll check it out.
No
I'll check it
problem, no
out.
problem, brother. But yeah, like I say, man, it's not a game. These things are actually here.
Yeah.
A lot of people know it. It just haven't been lifted up yet.
Okay, so my thing is now with the rate at which black people are reproducing, right, and the rate at which the Saudi Arabia or the persons of that side of the world, right, and the wealth that they are amassing over time, likewise what the Jews did, so-called Jews, right, I'm seeing where people will more potentially readily accept a Islamic type or Muslim then type of faith, given what they stand for, and the fact that they have a more they have more power given their wealth, right? Wealth meaning actual money and whatever, right? How do we then allow for the melanated people to match up with that when reparations, boy, I would even I'm not sure where if that is ever going to be a thing, right? With recent news about the Vatican and everything that you guys have been talking about, um, I'm wondering now, where do we stand as a people, right, in relation to the rest of the world? Because other like the Chinese, have their limitations with how they reproduce. So we look at the different ethnicities and we're looking at the future. So if we're saying that we're going to uplift the black race, right, and so forth, then how do we then, with this righteous government, embrace all the other ethnicities as well? Is there a differentiation between their philosophies and ours? Because we're basically coming to is one right way, supposedly, right?
I know, but brother man, I think before we ask all those questions, those kind of things will be settled. That's why you have other members. And once we come together, all those decisions and all these changes and all these correct way of doing it, we can discuss. But
Okay,
we
so
can't
is it
even
a case,
discuss
so
nothing.
so it would be a
We
case
can't
where
discuss
every
nothing.
ethnicity,
Hold on.
yeah,
That's
go
the
ahead,
thing, brother man. We can't
yeah,
discuss nothing because we not even trying to start a government. So before we get into a lot of things, man, we
okay,
first gotta take the first step, and that's creating a government. And then, because right now,
right,
all nations will support us. You know, all nations will support us. That's what we must understand. You know,
yeah,
but we don't have nothing where they can come support.
true, okay,
Because like I say, we are not recruiting. You know, so this is the first step, and this is what we missed. We want to have conversations about things that will be better talked about amongst the leaders.
right,
And
so
see, so I just man, because I've been talking to my people for a while. Shit, I damn near know how they think, and we into talking more than doing. So if
right,
we have to set up a government, let's start creating roundtables in different states. We should have roundtables.
right,
We should know some of the people that we gonna elect to put in seats. We don't know none of this.
right, right, right,
And those are the steps that I really, really trying to focus on right now and really trying to pinpoint. Because I'm not just talking about these things, you know what I'm saying? We really
right. We're
got
taking action,
sacrifice,
yeah,
dedication, and time into this, and because we are people at the end of the day.
yeah,
So when you walking the path, man, I wouldn't say I'm impatient, but by me dealing with my people, I know what points should be more made. You know, and
right. So the
I
focus, the
want
focus would be to
to take the
centralize,
next step.
put in place that government process, and then start to make structured decisions about the action. But again, we have a lot of lost people who still, even when they see the facts within a newscast, will still be more concerned about their IG posts and all of those stuff. So a level of re-education of people, as well as starting from the youth in terms of having schools of consciousness, things like that, that the future generation won't have to be going through a process of, well, they have to we have to do a re-education of the younger ones, and even the older ones just the same. But some persons will never live or move away from accepting anything outside of a white Jesus, right? No matter what you put to them, regardless of age, people are just that until they are ready to change, right? So it's a battle. Being from Jamaica, I would love to be involved in the processes that you guys are putting in place, because I myself, as an upcoming artist and musician and songwriter, a lot of persons in the space, I am already feeling that call for the righteous warriors to step up, right, and do the work. So even within government space also, there's a process now where they're trying to have a patriotic movement, you know what I mean? So it's like a lot of things are happening in this time, right? And as we move out of the water season into the fire, right, now is the time to put things in place, and then the action can really manifest within the fire season.
I agree. It is, brother. And like I said, man, like the political party could consist of musicians also, because music moves our people in a way, that nothing moves them. Like it's one of the fastest way to get a message to the people is through the music.
That is it. That is correct. Yep.
The musicians are a part of the political power, and that's what our musicians don't understand today. They think their words are for entertainment.
Yep. 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 That's
Your
it.
voice is not to entertain someone. Your voice is to lead and guide people.
That is it. That
You
is
know,
true.
and so music is definitely a part of the political party also, man. So like I say, if you want to get in contact with us, you
Yeah,
know,
definitely. I'll reach out on the website.
yeah,
Really love what you guys are doing.
we'll
Keep up
definitely,
the good work.
be
Um,
with you.
yeah, man. We will connect.
Yeah. All right, brother. I appreciate you coming up, man.
Yeah, man. Peace and blessings.
Peace, peace. All they care about is the dollar. And y'all, none of these people are talking about Christ restoring the government. Some people will say Christ ain't even here to restore a government. Y'all seen that earlier. Of a brother saying Christ ain't even here to restore a government. So again, most people haven't even looked into the meaning of why we even have the Bible. You know, we don't even look into the meaning why we have the Bible. And like I say, y'all, that is the deception that's among us. Cause all they care about
Hi, brother.
is the dollar. What's going on? Peace, peace.
Good, good. I have only one question. You know, why God want to fight the devil through Christ? Why he just destroys the devil and let free the people? Why he need us to fight the devil? You know,
Well, God don't need you to fight the devil.
why he can't destroy the devil by himself?
No, God is destroying the devil. Like, see, God is not the reason why the world is in the predicament is in. God has given world over to mankind. Are in control of the world. Now, the devil is deception that's in man and woman. So, if the devil is in us, then God what? Or the changing is gonna take place with us. God is just I would say the better way of doing it. God is the giver of direction. God is the spirit. God is the righteousness. So we people have to put down deception and enter righteousness. So we got to stand with God. The Bible say the battle not yours. So you're not really asking to fight. You asking to stand with God and not with deception. That means put your religions down, put your false thoughts down about God, and all this, and stand with God and not with the lie. That's what really God is asking. God is not asking for you to pick up, and fight all that. No. God have already prepared those people to fight. The
Yeah,
battle is not yours. You know that
I
these things.
know. I know, but you can say it's not only false information that the devil is. The devil spirit exists in the world. You saw a people who have devil, who have possessed evil spirit on them. It is actively found the devil. Why the God lets people to be possessed by evil spirit or evil or devil or Satan, something like that.
Well, God give you free will, brother. God is not. We choose to walk with the devil. We choose to do wrong. We had God right before us. We chose not to follow. We chose to follow the devil. We chose to do these things. God didn't force us to do nothing we doing. This is what we have chosen. You
Okay.
know, these things we have to understand. Like we are not. God is not forcing us to do nothing. We have chose the path that we have taken.
Yeah, but in normal, in sanitary, in a healthy way, no one want to work, or no one want to be possessed by devil. It's not our choice.
Well, you can't say that. Some people love to lie. So that is a choice. That's a choice that we have chosen. That's like right now, the truth could come before you, but you might hold on to the lie.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Julius, this is the only question I have. Thank you for your answering.
No problem, no problem.
Have a great day. Have a blissful day.
So, but
I
yeah,
don't know how can I end this conversation.
all right, no problem, brother.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Peace, peace.
All right.
But yeah, y'all. So man, like I say, y'all, this change is here, y'all, and the truth hurts. So a lot of people are being hurt by the truth. TikTok, I know TikTok.
Hey, what's going on with you?
What's up, brother, man?
Nothing much. So, I just got a couple questions. I'm gonna let you go ahead and give your answers, and I'm just gonna only ask questions. Um, so it says Christ is back to restore the melanated government. So the government is upon his shoulders, right?
Correct.
Okay. So let me know where the melanated part comes into play.
Well, do you think the Bible is written for everybody, or is it written about a particular people?
I think it was written after accounts already happened or were spoken to become.
That's what I'm saying. But do you think it's connected? I'm not saying like, but do you think the Bible is connected to a particular people? Is the
No, of
Bible
course
connected
not.
to
I think
everybody?
it came. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to know, like, is the Bible? Did the Bible come from everybody, or did the Bible come from a particular people?
No, it came from particular people.
Okay, so that's where the melanated part come in because the particular people are the melanated people.
Is that the government of that time that was supposed to be on his shoulder?
Well, no, the Bible is a prophecy about the
That's what
government
I'm
on his shoulders because he came to Christ is here to restore the government. So whoever restoring the government, it will be on his shoulders.
right. So in the biblical time of when Jesus was said to, all right, so 2,000 years ago, was there a melanated government?
Say it again.
2,000 years ago, was there a melanated government?
Yes, it's always been a melanated government until the Romans took over.
Okay, so until the Romans took over. All right, cool. All right. So when did the Romans take over? Like what year?
They began gaining a lot of power in the 1800s. That's when they took over after World War II. They had world dominance after World War II.
Okay. So if the Ethiopian Bible was written like 600 years before King James, right?
600 years before King James?
Yeah, it was like 600, 500 years or something like that, right?
No. Like I said, the Bible, man, the Bible comes from Africa, so there's no dates on when the Bible was written. It's just a foretold story about the vision of the last days. So there's no dates on the Bible. The Romans, correct us with dates and stuff. But
No, okay, so look at there's document, right? So there's a specific type of way that things were processed at that time. Do you agree or no?
no, because the Romans stole everything and then they processed it according to how
Oh,
they wanted us to know the
right,
story.
right. So it was a process, right?
What you
So
mean,
there's a
like
process.
for the stolen part? The stolen part was the process. The writings was just vision seen about the last days.
They had to write this down. The Ethiopian Bible is a book, not a scroll, right?
Yes, it was a scroll. It was never a book. The Romans translated. The Romans translated all their books from scrolls. They didn't translate their information from Bibles. Now, when they say the Ethiopian has the oldest Bible, that's because the original scrolls come from Ethiopia. You know, so it wasn't never a book. Some scrolls was 20 feet long, some scrolls was 10 feet long, some scrolls was 6 feet long, and nobody in Africa was walking around with a book that compiled all the scrolls until the Romans stole it and put it together in a book.
So the Ethiopian Bible is written by Romans.
No, it's translated by Romans. No,
Okay,
no, no,
but the
no. The Ethiopian Bible is just the Bible in Geese. It's not. It's
yeah.
not. Like the Ethiopians don't even have the original scrolls. They was taken away. And see, this is why you have an Ethiopian college in the Vatican. So when they had translators, we was the translators. We helped translate the Bible. So
Wait, who did? Who did?
I don't know. I wasn't there, bro. I don't know. Like this is kind of
Oh, you
information.
said we. My fault. You said we,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
was
We like back
assuming you
then.
knew.
Yeah, back then they brought translators over to help them translate the scriptures.
So they just were allowing people to come over and just translate stuff, or did they go over there and take it and then retranslate?
No, they took it and translated it.
Okay,
Like we
so
wasn't let the Roman Catholic Church borrow the scrolls and then come give them back. No, they stole it. They took it. They looted it.
so Tedros was reading off of scrolls.
No, the scrolls wasn't written. What the scrolls are not written to teach the people. The
Nah,
scrolls
nah,
are
nah, nah.
prophecies and visions. So Tedros wasn't reading the scrolls. Tedros was compiling all the scrolls. He was collecting them.
He was just collecting no specific order, no reason. He just knew, did he know what they said?
Of course, bro. Yeah, he was somebody that could read. He could read and write.
Oh, so he did read them.
He could read them. Yes, he could read them.
Okay, I don't mean to laugh, pardon me, but
Like what's funny? Like what's funny?
not
Like
because you going back and forth on it, but I'm not trying to
I'm
call
not
it out,
going back and forth. I say Tedros could read the scriptures, but the
bro. I
scriptures
ain't trying
was
to
supposed to be
argue with
read to
you.
the
You know what I mean?
people.
I just
Like
apologize for like laughing at, like not at you, but like my reasoning for laughing. I apologize for it.
no,
You
he
trying to
good.
call me out on it like I'm like I didn't mean to offend you. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, you doing what you feel, but yeah, man. So like I said, the Bible is not a knowledge and wisdom book. The Romans turned it to knowledge and wisdom because they used the book to solidify their power.
Okay, so if it was written in Geese, how did the Romans translate it?
They took translators, bro.
And so they took Ethiopians to do it.
Correct.
And okay, so who was the Ethiopian that was took?
Oh well, yeah. I don't have that exact information.
Do you know when they were taken? Like the scrolls, I'm assuming they were stolen, right?
Yeah, the scrolls. A lot of scrolls were taken in 1868.
1868. Okay.
Now you got to
Okay.
think a lot of before 1868, you had Ethiopians in Rome already. Because they was doing a lot of trade with Ethiopia, and they was so information was in Rome. That's why you talk about the Moors taking over Europe and all that. They got that history. So a lot of history is just whitewashing. The story is not told in the correct way to for us to see the bigger picture. But these Moors that was over there was these Africans.
Okay. So did you happen to get a copy of this Ethiopian Bible in Ge'ez?
Oh no. There's no need for that, brother, because the things that the Bible say gonna happen regardless if we read it or not.
I
Regardless if
agree.
you ever read the ancient scrolls, the happening gonna happen.
Okay, so men wrote these scrolls down and God just makes it happen.
Huh?
So men write these scrolls down. Men write on the scrolls and God makes it happen.
Yeah, correct. That's the best way to say it. God makes it happen. Man just wrote it. So the man that's reading it not gonna make it happen. Only the one that fulfills it gonna make it happen.
Okay.
And that's why
And
Christ said, I come in the volume of the book. I come to do thy will. And that's why we let people know the Bible is the will of God. It's not the word.
there's no dates on it, right?
No dates.
Now I'm gonna go back to my original question kind of. If there's no dates on it, no one cared to write down a date because that's not what's important. What's important is what's to come, right? So
Correct.
if they were told to wrote it down at a specific time, not that at 6 o'clock on, whatever, not given an actual date, but it was told to be written down. There's a time and a place that happened. Where is your proof to say that this happened in 1800s, in the 1700s, in the 1300s?
I
Like,
never said none of that. I didn't give you dates, brother. I just
no,
told
no,
you.
no, I know. But I'm saying, okay, so the
I didn't
Ethiopian
give you
Bible
no
was
dates
written.
for when it was written. It don't matter when it's written because it's about what? What's to happen. What's written down, whether it was written in 18, 17, 16, 15, or 14. Guess what? Everything that was written, whatever day it was written for the last days of what was going to happen.
Right, I
So me
agree.
knowing the day it was written
Hmm.
has no validity, really. Now, it might
Okay.
bring some clarity to some people who might have a lot of questions about this, that, and that.
Hmm.
But the validity and the weight, it don't hold no weight to know when the Bible was written.
Even though it says like Moses went and got people from Egypt, that timeline don't matter. It don't matter when Moses got them out.
No, those are written down for our examples. These things are written down for our examples on whom the end of the world will come.
Okay.
You
So
see what I'm saying?
that's like,
That's why they call it what? Basic instructions of what to do and what not to do when God is among you. That's what the Bible is. Basic instructions for you to do, for to tell you what not to do and what to do when God is among you in a living vessel. You see what I'm saying? So that's why the writings are written for us as examples,
hmm,
because they foreshadow what we will be doing in the last days.
okay. So say what you're saying is true, and you come and you fulfill the Bible as to be said, as to be done, right? My kids, grandkid, learn that way, start to teach and understand this way, kind of like what you're doing. And they say, nah, there's no way that they did anything because today's society is not described how it was described then.
Well,
Is
brother,
that,
man, that's why
is
it's gonna be
that,
and I get
go
that.
ahead.
That's why it's gonna be a time to come where the books are gonna be open and the books gonna be closed. They say
Okay, fair enough.
what he opened can no man shut, and what he closed can no man
Can no
open.
man open. Right.
And that's what Christ
So
is doing, which nobody has ever done.
you're
Nobody ever
sealing
wrote
and
the Bible,
unsealing the book.
and
Right.
he's still
I
in the
get it.
book. And that's
No,
how we
that's
know Christ is
easy. That's easy money because it's written in the book already. I could say the same thing. That's what
no,
I'm trying to
you
say.
just said, brother. Saying
Yeah, I know.
and the
Right.
happening is two different things.
Yeah,
So
I
this
could
is the
agree.
happening. So rather than people ain't never said that really before. It's in the book. People ain't never said that because why?
What? Hold
People
on. Say, repeat that. My fault.
people haven't opened the Bible, and people will not close the Bible. That's why they always tell you to study it. I don't tell you to study the Bible because you can't study the Bible
Why can't I study it?
because it's sealed. The Bible is a sealed book.
But I could open up every single page and read it and gain understanding.
No, you can't. You can imagine you
Whoa.
have understanding.
No, I'm not. No. So when it said, so where do you get your points proven to be? How do you get your point proved? You go back to the Bible and you say, this is referencing this. This is referencing that. This says that here. And if you go back here and go up here, that's what you're doing.
If the Bible tell you right now, Christ is the only one that can unseal the Bible. What does the Bible tell you that? So what does that mean to you?
Okay, how many Christ is there? Just one?
I didn't say what it means. What does only Christ can unseal the book?
That means the truth. Only the truth can say what comes
That
out the
mean,
book.
no, do that mean everybody read and they get understanding?
I think everybody with the spirit of Christ can, yes. Can gain understanding.
But
Yes.
Christ had God's spirit. Christ is flesh and blood. Christ had God's spirit. Christ didn't have his own spirit.
But the spirit of Christ has a spirit. What do you mean?
Christ has God's spirit. You say the spirit descended upon Christ as a dove.
He had a Holy Spirit.
Okay, so you said Christ's spirit.
Okay, so you saying God's spirit is the Holy Spirit?
Who gave Christ the spirit?
God did.
Okay. All right, brother, man. I appreciate you coming on. Your 5 minutes up.
Sorry, if I turn my camera on, you gonna give me a couple more minutes?
Huh?
If I turn my camera on, you gonna give me a couple more minutes, or you just trying to run me off?
But now I'm just saying this conversation going left now because there's no need to. Because like I say, I'm focused on the melanated government, brother, man, and we all know Christ is not everybody because if Christ was everybody, it wouldn't be no individuality of Christ in the book. Because it said, eat from his flesh and blood. Peter wasn't Christ. Paul wasn't Christ. Now, they all became anointed, but they all wasn't Christ. So, there's no need to argue about certain things. Like I said, I'm just here for a particular point, a particular matter, so we can get this job done and we can stop all this babble.
Oh, so I'm just babbling, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you babbled back to me about some stuff you didn't know. You said you didn't know no time dates. You didn't know when the Ethiopian Bible was written. The Ethiopian Bible isn't even a scroll; it's an actual compile of books. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's not making sense to me when I actually read outside the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't adding up because you talking about the siege of Magdala when the siege of Jerusalem was before that.
Hey,
And we talked about that before.
hold up, brother, man. This is why it's not adding up. You don't come to God as a child. You come to God as what? I know. So, what does it mean to come to God as a child? Hold up. Brother, what does it mean to come to God as a child?
That means be willing to learn, be willing to listen, stuff like that. Follow direction, don't be manipulated.
So do Christ come to God as a child, or do Christ is the anointed one, and you got to come to Christ as a child because that's the one that God is dwelling in?
But Christ is different because he was born with that spirit.
Okay, man. That's what I'm saying. So the conversation is going nowhere. We're going in circles. But I appreciate you coming.
So I'm wrong for Christ was born like that?
No, that's why the spirit descended upon him. You got to be born of the spirit, not of flesh and blood. Like I say, brother, but
oh Lord, dog, the spirit.
We're not willing
the dove came down to show the truth. It's to show the truth, though.
Christ never came, brother. Christ is here now. And then you say Christ is everybody. You say Christ is now everybody came down and showed the truth. What is Christ?
It says the spirit.
Okay.
It says in 1 Peter that it's a spirit.
Well, I suggest you do, brother. Open up your panel and talk about what you know.
Oh, look, I don't think I'm Jesus Christ stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the difference.
But guess what? There's only one mediator between man and God.
Okay. Exactly.
Brother, there's only one mediator between man and God.
You're a man. You're not God, and you're not the mediator.
Well, you not? Are you the mediator?
No, I'm not. The
So,
mediator is the one
okay.
that's telling me that you're just a man.
Okay. Thank you for coming up, brother.
I'm, uh, what kind of sound?
He couldn't stop.
Wow, he's going to admit to you that he's not the mediator, but he's going to tell you, and he can't mediate nothing. Y'all fail each and every time when y'all come up here and y'all don't have a measurement of truth to sit in front of this man and actually say what y'all say. Y'all should be looking at yourself disgusted right now.
That's what they was
It's
gonna
hard
do.
on my ears to hear this stuff.
He's not the mediator, but he's talking for God.
No, yes.
Yes.
I think it's bad. Keep trying to come.
You wanna come back up? Y'all, like I say, man, y'all just want to play, y'all. I'm not here to play. You know, I engage in a lot of conversation, but I'm not here to play, y'all. And by the way, this is a lion's mane sandwich. It's not a burger. Now you playing, bro. You don't know what Christ said. You're going against the book. Christ is the mediator. But you came up here to talk for God. At least I tell you who I am. Y'all don't even tell me who y'all are. Y'all? I don't have nothing. We gotta go. Oh, you ain't come back up here? Damn! So y'all, now I actually gotta go, man. So that's another reason why I didn't want to engage, cause shit, we ain't talking about nothing. I gotta go. How many spirits do you have? I'm complete. I got 7. I'm in total completion. So with that being said, y'all, peace and blessings to y'all. I'm out of here. Catch y'all a little later. What's the name? Saturday. We might be back tonight. I don't know, but peace.